Alrighty, thank you for joining us at KNOTFEST today. From Heavy Magazine, I'm Ez, and this is Azza, and we've got Dan here from Disturbed. As you can tell, I'm a little bit nervous. I'm a little bit starstruck. I don't normally stumble over my words so much. That was a terrible introduction, but anyway, thank you for spending the time to talk to us today. How are you feeling?
Great, just excited to be back here. It's been I think about 8 years now since we've been in Australia.
Yes.
Not as we planned. We had plans to want to get back over here, and obviously once COVID hit, and that delayed everything. So, and just the album cycle and the way things turned out. So, and we were begging management for a while to get us back, bring us back. So we're very excited to be back here.
It's not an easy part of the world to get to for bands, is it? Like
Yeah,
we're kind
it's
of
tough.
yeah.
It's tough, it's obviously a long flight and very expensive to bring everything over. And
Yes.
But, so we just kept pushing management saying...
It's worth it though, isn't it?
It's definitely worth it. We made our commitment, from the start of our careers. We made our commitment to come over here over and over and over. And the fans here have committed to us. And, we want to keep that relationship going. And we didn't want to forget about them. They helped give us this life and this career. So I'm glad we were able to work it out.
Yeah, you have a very loyal fan base as well. How do you juggle organising a set list for a festival, given that obviously the set's a bit shorter and you've got such an extensive back catalogue and heaps of fan favourites?
Yeah, it can be a little tricky. I think we're playing 1 hour and 15 today, so it's probably we're used to doing about 2 hours and that. So.
Sure.
It'll probably seem easier for us because that extra 45 minutes, we'll probably come out swinging, you get the momentum going and try to give them a little bit of variety of the back catalog and everything too, to the current material as well. Mm-hmm. So just trying to find that good balance of the old and the new.
Yeah, well, with the release of Divisive, your most recent record, it feels like a return to a heavier sound and sort of a return to your roots. What motivated sonically what that record is?
It just organically, when we're writing it, it just got to happen naturally.
Yeah.
We could always talk about, hey, we want this next record to be heavy, or we want to do a power ballad or whatever. And it's really just comes down to picking up the instrument and start playing and seeing what comes out. And some of the inspiration for me working with a new producer this time around with Drew Falk. I really liked a lot of the work he's had with the band Wage War and Motionless in White, and some of the production ideas he had, and just getting in a room with somebody new. It's almost like having a fifth member of the band,
Yeah.
And sometimes it's hard to give up a little bit of that freedom to allow somebody in to your personal space and hear them, because there's so many great, gifted musicians or producers out there. But I've hold this stuff so close to my heart, it's hard to just have somebody else have an opinion.
Sure. Yes.
And you got to, we've learned to open up and kind of let somebody just kind of throw some ideas at you and kind of push you in a different way. And with Drew being this kind of new, hot producer and all these new elements, it was just really exciting to get in the room with him and just kind of bounce ideas off each other and really get what we needed, from each other. So it's been a great experience.
Sometimes that outside person is a necessity as well to get you out of your own, I guess, attachment that you might have to what you're creating and just give you a different perspective on things, right?
Absolutely. I think historically in the past we would call it demo-itis, because we would record these things. You get so attached to the demo. And then we would go in the studio, and all we would do is just re-record them with better takes, but basically almost exactly the way the demo was. And then, so we realized sometimes we gotta maybe don't get too attached to it and let those moments happen, in the studio as we're improvising ideas and putting each other, on the spot and just feeding off of each other. And a lot of that happened with this album with Divisive. I ended up writing probably half of it. In the studio as we were going, and I would just come up with a new riff, kind of put David on the spot, and kind of that's where we shine the most, when I can throw a riff at him and just make him in that moment improvise that melody on top of it, and the magic happens.
Do you know, I find that that's something that a lot of bands tend to not do anymore. I think with technology and the fact that we can, still, you can share files and stuff and you don't have to be in a room together. The more bands I interview these days, the more I hear that they just kind of do it by distance. So to hear that you guys do that and feed off each other, it's great.
I mean, we've done that in the past, and the technology's there to do it, and you can still get good results, but I think, we've come back around to trying to go back to those garage band days of capturing that moment together, because it's not as exciting to we all live in different states back in the U.S. And if I share a file, I'm like sitting there waiting for the phone call, getting feedback. Hey, what do you think of it? Let's hear your melody. It's not as, you don't share that excitement together when you're improvising. And I play the riff and we feed off each other, and then you see, okay, this is working because you're reading the body language of the other band.
Sometimes it doesn't even need to be said. You look at each other again.
Right, you just know you're on something, And if you're not feeling it, you start changing the riff around, changing the beat around. That whole improvising stage. I think it's, in our case, we realized, we feel that we get better results out of it that way.
While we're on that topic with ideas and inspiration, do you ever write much on the road? I mean, you're probably away from home a lot, but do you sort of get an idea from something or something inspired you that you've just got to capture that until you get home?
Yeah, I was just writing in the dressing room right now. Just because I always have a guitar on, so I literally, and I wouldn't even say write. I'll have a riff here or there, and I'll just record it on my phone and just walk away from it. And later on, if I'm having a slow day and nothing's happening, I might revisit the phone and go through and see if something catches my ear again. I'm like, oh wait, and I'll have to relearn it.
And sometimes you're almost at the end of the song, just need that handshake, that middle section, and that riff will do.
Right. So sometimes I'll dig back into the vault and see if it hits me again, and I'm like, oh yeah, I totally forgot about it. I mean, I got probably a freaking 1,000 riffs in my phone. Yeah. But when I come back and revisit it, if it hits me again, then I'll maybe put a little bit more time into it. But overall, as a band, we don't really sit there and do that so much on the road, because we're so focused on just the performance right now, being out there and the energy of the crowd.
Any downtime? Any sightseeing?
Yeah. I love it. We had 3 days off here in Melbourne the past 3 days, so I mean, we were, did your typical touristy thing of the, kangaroo and koala bear sanctuary, and it was great. We went, Randy from Lamb of God came with us, and if the fans could see us now, we're all sitting there looking at koala bears and hanging out. Yeah, maybe it's not as metal of a day as the fans may feel, but it was a great time just to have some hang time, especially with a guy like Randy, who's such a good dude. So we try to find our moments, and then of course, at nighttime, usually, some of us will go out and try to find the local pub or somewhere, a little dive bar, and let loose a little bit every now and then.
That's good. So I talked to some people, and they're like, so what did you see? And they went, I saw hotels, backstages, and airports.
Yeah,
I can't do it like that. I got to get out and venture out. We're like that a lot, me and John, mostly our bass player, he's got his wife out here on this trip too. A lot of times we'll go out and walk throughout the day just to get out and
feel the place.
Yeah, for sure. So we love it here.
Excellent.
Well, I saw the looks over there, and we're out of time, but I do have one last little thing. We have been getting bands to pick a little question out of the little box. Literally the most random shit you will ever be asked in your life is in KNOTFEST. It's a bit of an adventure into who knows what. So pick a question and good luck.
Wait, I grabbed two. Oh no, it's one. Jeez, now I can't see with this thing. What's that say? See, any my cheater.
You are now a superhero with an unlikely power. Is it the power of invisibility, but only when you do a shit, or the power to fly, but you have to eat a cupful of dead flies to activate it?
I could do that. I could eat the flies to activate the flying power.
Yeah. You think it'd be worth it? Every time you want to fly, though, you've got to eat them.
If it was like a meaty big bug or something with guts are coming out, maybe not, but flies are nothing, right? That's like, you know.
We've all probably eaten one anyway.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
I've done it on a motorcycle at times where I'm back home and a bug's
Absolutely.
flying in your face.
It also
So-
doesn't speculate whether, it doesn't state whether you can or can't garnish it with things. So I mean, you could sprinkle something
okay,
on
yeah.
there to make
Little
the flies.
seasoning.
Yeah,
Top
yeah,
of it.
make them a bit more palatable.
Yeah.
You know. So
right.
Yeah,
okay,
grab
well,
a bike
we'll,
while you're here and have a ride around.
Yeah. Oh, that would be cool. I think one of my crew guys might have done that with his brother-in-law came out here. I think down in Adelaide. I think they're renting bikes to get out for a bit, but
Yep.
that'd be cool.
Oh, yeah.
Well, nice.
Thank you so much
you.
for
Should I put that back
indulging
in, or
my
is that-
ridiculousness.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
All
Appreciate
right.
it.
Thank you very much, man.
Thank you, brother.
Welcome.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.